According to Mark Twain, the man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. A pleasant day to all my second-year education students. This is Dr. Jenlyn de Lima Giagonia, your instructor in Professional Education 4.
Professional Education 4: Building and Enhancing New Literacies Across the Curriculum. This course introduces the concepts of new literacies in the 21st century as evolving social phenomena and shared cultural practices across learning areas. Furthermore, demonstrating the content knowledge and its application within and/or across curriculum teaching areas for the development of students, making them productive members of the growing society.
At the end of this particular course, you are going to design a socio-culturally relevant instructional toolkit on 21st century skills applicable to one's teaching area or discipline.
More specifically, you are going to develop a socio-culturally relevant instructional materials integrating globalization, multiculturalism, media, cyber, and digital literacies in a chosen lesson. What are inside this module? In this module, you are going to learn 2 lessons. First, globalization. Second, multicultural literacies. At the end of this module, the students should be able to express their insights on globalization and multicultural literacies, cite the benefits and challenges of crossing international borders while preserving and promoting their culture, and demonstrate competencies actualizing the value of unity despite diversity. Jean-Philippe Courtois claimed, "While globalization will make the world smaller and more accessible, we must continue to appreciate its vibrant diversity."
In the era of technology and collaboration, the world has become smaller. So students in this generation play a vital role in this movement, especially when confronted with the challenging roles of pursuing global competitiveness while preserving local culture. The latter includes your heritage, tradition, language, songs, beliefs, literature, and many more that truly depict the uniqueness of your community. If this is continually exercised by the people around, then you can absolutely claim that despite globalization, you can continue to value localization. Lesson 1. Globalization. This unit will give you learning experiences in the new era where tremendous advancement of science and technology is observed. Some of them are the strength of the educational systems where the curriculum needs to be relevant, the development of human potential where each one needs to enrich his or her competencies in various fields, and capacity building the community towards environment protection. These are only a few important aspects of globalization where every member of the academic community needs to be aware of and responsive about. What is globalization? A lot of experts from the different fields share their ideas in globalization, and people from all walks of life become conscious of political, economic, and social issues which are brought about by globalization.
According to Coatsworth, globalization happens when the movement of people, goods, or ideas among countries and regions accelerates.
In reality, global culture somehow leads people to lose sight of seeing the beauty and love for the local culture. In this scenario, you are challenged to respond on this matter. The use of technology has become worldwide, so this is really a great challenge to you to become highly analytical, creative, and decisive, to choose options and do things which can make you competitive, productive, and value-laden members of the bigger community.
Another view of globalization given by Joseph E. Stiglitz is that it is the closer integration of the countries and people of the world brought about by the enormous reduction of costs of transportation and communication and the breaking down of artificial barriers to the flow of goods, services, capital, knowledge, and the people across borders. Held and Company defined that globalization captures elements of a widespread perception that there is a broadening, deepening, and speeding up of universal interconnectedness in all aspects of life, from cultural to political and financial to environmental. It means that this issue seems to be a global shift. That is, a world is being molded by economic and technological forces into a shared economic and political sector. Cole shared in 2018 that according to sociologists, globalization is an ongoing process that involves interconnected changes in the economic, cultural, social, and political spheres of society. Culturally, it refers to the global spread and integration of ideas, values, norms, behaviors, and ways of life. Politically, it refers to the development of forms of governance that operates at the global scale whose policies and rules in the cooperative nations are expected to abide. On the other hand, Beck defined globalization as a process through transnational actors undermine sovereign national states with varying prospective power, direction, identities, and network. Globalization is growth on a worldwide scale. It is the process of integration and international influence of economies and cultures. In the examples of globalization in the presentation, you will see that it is not only an exchange of goods, but also an exchange of ideas and even anti-terrorist protections. The more technology advances and the more transportation improves, the more global outlets are revealed. For instance, some automobiles use parts from other countries. A car being assembled in the United States may import parts from Japan, Germany, or Korea. This creates a whole new avenue for trade when the United States has to pay for certain parts from around the world, wait for them to be shipped, then resume localized production. Another example is travel and tourism that allows for the globalization of many things like the exchange of money, cultures, ideas, and knowledge.
All in all, globalization is the term used to describe the growing interdependence of the world's economies, cultures, and populations, brought about by cross-border trade in goods and services, technology, and flows of investment, people, and information. Many countries have built economic partnerships to facilitate these movements for centuries. Based on the aforementioned ideas in globalization, certainly you have reflected on it and have come up on your own definition. It's your time to share your idea of globalization. In not less than 100 words, write a paragraph about globalization.
Lesson 2. Multicultural Literacies. The idea of globalization propels you to become analytical, collaborative, decisive, and morally upright. These are vigorous elements in your active engagement towards becoming responsible agents, towards addressing the varied and diverse concerns and issues of the world. In the academe, these highly essential outcomes that you need to perform and have to be aligned with how you learn, live, and uphold the beliefs and practices of the local communities. However, in the 21st century, being immersed in one's culture is not enough. Being knowledgeable of other cultures of the world is predominant in this generation. These include the multicultural literature of countries that give an impact on the lives of people of the world. In the time of seamless society when people freely cross borders, there is a need to know each other's culture for the purpose of common understanding and eventually making the encounter as learning opportunities and probably streamlining of practices. Multicultural literacies pave the way for global understanding. The uniqueness of each culture gives an aggregate value towards the attainment of peace and unity among nations. Academicians strive to put a premium on the integration of cultural education in all levels of learning in order to make sure that students who are the citizens of the nation are able to strengthen awareness of their culture, preserve and promote such, and have it known to the world. Eventually, once shared, cultures of the world will be understood and deeply appreciated. In doing so, people across the world live in harmony despite diversity. Taylor and Hochsman shared that multicultural literacy is defined through the idea of an inclusive and diverse education system, where students of all cultural backgrounds are provided with the respect and recognition they deserve in the classroom. It is through this literacy that we must foster certain pedagogies concerning both social justice differences in the classroom. Booth discussed how by fostering both critical thinking and culturally sensitive pedagogies to bring explicit attention to society-related cultural issues, in hope to positive impact diverse learners in the classroom through giving recognition to the barriers they may face through educational institutions. O'Byrne and Smith stated how through the use of multicultural literacy, culturally marginalized students feel more respected and comfortable in the classroom as they genuinely feel their needs are being met and their voices are being heard. Bank and Stark stated that although literacy is essential that all students acquire the basic literacy and computational skills, this is not enough. Students should also acquire the skills, attitude, and commitments needed to be reflective, moral, and active citizens in a troubled global world. In addition to teaching basic literacy skills, the schools should help students to acquire multicultural literacy, which consists of knowledge, skills, and commitments essential to take action to make the world more just and humane. As NDEV presented that multicultural literacy is awareness that culture impacts behavior and beliefs. It is an awareness and appreciation of different beliefs, appearances, and lifestyles. Further, multicultural literacy promotes understanding, reading multicultural books and stories which provides cultural awareness of others. It provides a look at history, customs, values, and language of a particular cultural group as well as understanding among different cultures. Let's discuss the goals in teaching children multicultural literature. These cover the increase of self-worth and greater chance for successful future, the achievement of educational equity, working towards cultural pluralism, creation of a sense of empowerment in students, the ability to work in groups and teaching from a multicultural perspective. This means educators must challenge assumptions and stereotypes. For example, teachers need to select literature that does not promote stereotypical perspectives. So, according to Ford, Harris, and Howard, teachers must see that culture, race, gender, religion, socio-economic status, and ability are variables in the learning process. Another example that you can use inside the classroom in the future is your classroom activities, in which you are going to inculcate different activities like digital holiday field trip for elementary level. As future teacher, you take a virtual field trip to different students' places of origin on days when their country or culture is celebrating a holiday unique to them. For secondary level, you can have ethnicity exercise which your students discuss their ethnic backgrounds and share 3 unique things about their culture such as food, holidays, celebrations, etc.
Proactively, this becomes an opportunity to huddle various entities that usher each one to become active players of society. In the course of active interaction between and among individuals with diverse needs, value system is henceforth noted. Thus, the role of education is so intricate that each one's varied experiences are given attention regardless of sex, color, and religion. This is a strong foundation on making multicultural education alive in every learning environment. In the process of becoming part of the world, there is a need to actively immerse you in the different cultures of the world through a meaningful learning engagement. The following tips are suggested.
C for create. Create new circle of friends. In this era of technology, invite local and international friends in a social network. Know them and share stories with one another, family, educational practices, local traditions, and the like. O for offer. Offer time and resources. Once friendship is established, be ready to share your time and knowledge so you will be able to learn from each other. In the course of doing so, you are starting to build a good relationship. N for network. Network ideas. In the process of further knowing each other and the relationship have engendered trust, you and your friend can recommend each other for more friends. Through this, you can share with each other in terms of your interest, plans, etc. N for note. Note similarities and differences of beliefs and practices. As the network expands, you need to note similarities and differences of your beliefs and practices. In the process, you further learn from each other and probably enjoy each other's company. At this point, you have gradually learned from each other's culture, thus eventually adjust and immerse into it as well. E for explore. Explore opportunities. Once you have learned from each other's culture, you can offer chances of inviting him or her to be part of your academic activities, like requesting him or her for evaluation of you and your classmates' course output. This can be vice versa. C for care. Care for each other. From time to time, you check on each other's status and learn how to show care and concern for him or her. This is an important element to strengthen relationship. You need to preserve it. Sometimes family members become part of such relationship. This is something you need to deeply value. T for transfer. Transfer learning. To make online communication with friends more meaningful and fruitful way, you need to share experiences with your classmates in the classroom and vice versa. It is through this that you can truly claim that learning is significant because it's shared with or transferred with others. In today's world, connection plays a powerful agent towards globalization and immersing into others' cultures. So start to connect. To conclude, multicultural literacy refers to the skills involved when uncovering bias in regards to culture, as well as the ability to take different perspectives to gain a more humane one. It is important for you to be multiculturally literate because Philippines itself is very multicultural. You need to be able to take the point of view of different cultures to allow yourselves to grow into responsible citizens who consider other people's opinions.
Let us do the second exercise. With your knowledge from the readings above, carefully analyze the different literatures and share your thoughts on how each of them affects you as a student who is a product of multiculturalism. Write your ideas in a separate paper. Long size bond paper or yellow pad, it doesn't matter. It's time to check how far you have learned. Let's do the knowledge building activity. Word formation.
Based from the readings, form a word in the acronym of globalization. Word must be in noun form, after which describe how the word affects the local, national, or global community. Write your answer on the space provided.
This time, let us exercise your critical thinking skills. With the knowledge on globalization and multicultural literacy, choose one national or global issue from a magazine, newspaper, or online article. Simply write its main idea and source, then decide on how it can help you become part of the global community. Good luck! Now let's create! Create a short story with a theme on multiculturalism and a long bond paper, after which write your reflection or realization on a separate sheet of paper. be all for today, and I do hope that this video is worth watching. See you in our virtual classes.